So October's been a busy month.
On the target, then I'm lurking.
Get a load of this guy!
Oh, it spins.
So currently we're in October. This is probably the scariest month for us. Coming to the end of the season where we have one event, the Cambrian Rally. And for that event, the second year students have all gone to third year and gone to their placement jobs. So they're all busy. So we've got a whole new group of first years.
The first year students who have joined Harper Adams, and that's always quite exciting for us because it's a new bunch of people with new ideas and new perspective on what they can bring to the team, which is always quite exciting and presents me and Elliot with a new challenge, and Charlie, of trying to share our knowledge with these younger students.
They've started for about 2 weeks, and then we pick who we want and we go to the rally with them, who've never worked on a live car, never worked with a rally car, and yeah, they're thrown in the deep end.
And in our re-prep after the Tour of Epping, it's allowed us to bring the first years on leaps and bounds in prepping the car ready for our rally at the Cambrian.
Before we went to the Cambrian Rally, we decided we would go to the Deer Park.
About 2 miles away from Harper Adams, a Wednesday shakedown.
We're currently at the Deer Park. We are shaking down for this weekend at the Cambrian. All's going good. We've had no problems so far.
Where we essentially just checked the car over, checked it was fine, there was no leaks, we were happy with everything.
And the main idea was to try and bring the team together working on the car for the first time, as some of the first years hadn't been in a sort of service situation.
Right in!
So it allowed Elliot as the number one and me as the engineer to see how the team was working together and making sure that everyone understood their role and their position and what was required of them when they're doing their checks. And it adds a bit of that pressure and gets them used to working under that pressure and in that situation, which is a great skill to have.
Unfortunately, on that day, we had a bit of stress. So we did a couple of drives up and down, and then once that was done, we decided to do a launch with it. So that's where you stop the car, rev it up to about 5,000 RPM, and then drop the clutch and try and get away as fast as you can. And there's just a smoke show. It's pretty cool, pretty nice to watch, but it's pretty hard on the car. After that, Charlie finished the run, got down to the bottom, and then went to take off again, phoned us and said, I've got no clutch. So we then checked him out of the Deer Park, tried a couple of things there, and decided, oh no, it's time to pull the gearbox. So with us planning to head away the next morning and now having a big shift on, we decided, right, pull the gearbox off. We've now got about 12 hours, I think we had, until we had to leave.
This led to a rather late night here in the workshop.
Pull the whole unit?
No, push this end through now.
Chuckle vision, chuckle vision. Let's it down a little bit.
Oh, I think I do need to take the starter off.
Is there a bang I can put over that?
Slide out to me.
Oh, it's on, don't worry.
Sure?
Yeah.
My hands on. Yeah, I got it.
To me, to you. Got dog boat coming.
Take it off. Maybe the steel's jammed.
What, caught?
It's not sliding right.
On that.
They look like that steel's not been allowed to move up and off the friction plate.
Unfortunately, it did not last. We've had a few issues. We are now pulling the we've pulled the gearbox. We're looking at the clutch now in the workshop. It's just one of those days.
Wake up and everything.
The friction plates have welded themselves to the actual flywheel, and yeah, it's just not good.
And it's the heat
Glued together, yeah.
of us taking the flywheel off, reskimming the flywheel, prepping the clutch as best we can, and changing some of the clips on the clutch pressure plate housing. The key fault of this was hard to pin down exactly, but it seemed to be there are multiple factors, something to do with a worn-out flywheel, which we resurfaced. There was a potential for the clips on the clutch pressure plate housing to be put in the wrong way, so we changed them back around to the old spec that we had. A late night and a big shift from everyone from all around the team, not just the people who are going to the rally, which is really good to see and really helps to bring that team cohesion that we look for so much in rallying the right way.
The next day we set off to go to Hogan's Quarry. Hogan's is a construction company that sponsor us. So we love working with them and went to go see their quarry, one of their quarries. They've got 4 quarries in Wales. The site we went to, they've had for over 60 years. So they've been there for quite a long time.
We are at a Hogan rock quarry in Wales and we're going to do some learning about rock quarrying.
So we're going to go up, we're going to get a couple of photos with all the dumpers and the diggers. And yeah, you'll be seeing those soon on the social media. We did a little photo shoot with them. We took all the students, dressed them up in all their PPE gear, all their high-vis, the works, hats. Went down there, had a bit of a photo shoot, and then we went off to go testing.
We're at the shakedown for Cambrian Rally.
Then we went to MSL's gravel test day in Denbighshire, which was another day to try and make sure we'd iron out all the kinks with the car, and also gives us as the team going to the Cambrian a nice idea of how we want to set up and how we're all going to work together to achieve that end goal when we're faced with tough situations.
It's absolutely soaking it down with the rain. We've got our big tent out, which is lovely. And yeah, Charlie's about to go out for the first run. We're looking forward to it. It's so cool.
So we're with the freshers here. Well, look at
Yeah.
Is that quite nice, isn't it?
What happened in our...
Bit of that.
At the testing, it was fun, I'll say that.
And that test day brought a couple tough situations.
Unfortunately, after the first run, we had an issue with the drive shaft, with one of the bearings in the drive shaft snapping, so we didn't have drive in that side. So we brought it back in. With a limited amount of time in the shakedown, you just try and get the car out as many times as you can, give it as much work as you can. There's no ordering system, it's just first come, who's on the course to go next, and you just get in a queue. So with that, we knew nobody was waiting for us, so we had to get it done quickly to get it back out there.
So that was a very exciting change to do, and I jumped in to help out the team as the engineer, and me and Elliot got it done, along with all the other freshers, making sure the rest of the car was okay to go back out.
So me and Archie jumped onto the front, and Archie's the engineer, and we were just throwing tools at it, trying to get it done ASAP to get it back out there, make the most of our time, make the most of our money.
So that test day was great and allowed us to iron out the kinks like the drive shaft, because if that would have happened on the stage, it's not very good for anyone. However,
After that, we were happy. We finished the day with another issue. On the last run, the people at the MSL test were lovely to us, and they closed at about 5. We rocked up at 5:05 and they went, "Go on, last car of the day, we'll let you on." What a mistake that was for them. On that last run, unfortunately, Charlie came hooning into a corner with the handbrake up, sideways. He hit a big rut and unfortunately tore the wheel off a bit like that. That's pretty common in these cars. Unfortunately, there's not really much you can do about it.
Thankfully, we were able to re-prep at Gwyneth Forklifts Hire,
who deal in forklifts and telescopic scissor lifts and anything you can think of, really.
Cool.
And their facility there was great, and they had everything we needed, from a nice clean wash bay and a clear space to work to a tyre and wheel balancer.
That was a stressful day. Unfortunately, Charlie had clipped a tree with the front bumper, which meant it was quite deformed and wouldn't pass scrutineering. So that left us driving all over the Wales to try and find parts. So to try and fix the rear, we used a thing called tie inserts,
which is basically you drill out the thread that's pulled out, put in this tie insert. Well, you tap a hole which is wider, so in our case it was an M12 because the thread that we needed was an M10, and then you tap to an M12, wind in the insert, and then you can put in your bolt, and that insert then holds the bolt strongly because it's got a finer thread on the top than the standard thread of the M10 bolt.
So that was our fix for the day, and then other than that we had a couple of sensors for the engine that we thought weren't going great. Thanks to our engineer who caught those for us, so we then drove around and got those. We had to drive about an hour and a quarter to go get the bumper and then turn around, drive back with it. That was quite stressful with timings, but we were happy. We managed to get everything done in that time. We used the lads at Gwyneth Forklift. They were pretty amazing, the facilities. Yeah, I can't fault them, they were lovely to us. There was a couple of bits that we were missing, unfortunately, because we needed a fine thread for the tap, and they came through and provided us with one, so yeah, lovely for that.
We also had other issues. These included a leaky gearbox from the drive shaft, so we pulled that back out, made sure everything was okay, put some new grease on the end of it, put it back in. We also had an intercooler leak and a boost leak. Thankfully, we found this due to things that me and Elliot have learned on placement, which we are trying to share with the rest of the team, called boost checking, which is where we pressurise the boost system. And we test to about 1.5 bar, because normally at that point you find any major leaks. And if they're small enough, you can still hear them before they become excessive, without putting too much wear through the crankcase. So this led us to find the main leak, which was a blown boost hose on one of the silicon hoses out the connection of the turbo. And then after fixing that, we discovered another boost leak on the bottom right of the intercooler. So thankfully, the team got to checking those quickly, and we replaced the intercooler and that hose nice and quickly and got the car back up to full boost, which is always a good thing.
In the heat of the moment on that Friday, we had made a small lapse in judgment, I had made a small lapse in judgment in forgetting to manufacture a heat shield for one of the turbo boost pipes, which is sat right next to the turbo. We got there back to the accommodation at about 8 p.m, I believe, had dinner, and then that was when I broke the news to Charlie and said, oh, by the way, I forgot to do this. To Charlie's reaction, which I was dreading, he said, right, well, get back out then boys. So at about 11 o'clock, we rounded up, me, Archie and Rory, and headed out to the car park to try and manufacture a heat shield for this. Unfortunately, when we got there, security wouldn't let us in. So we got our bits out, got what we could done, and gave it with Charlie to set the next morning, to build the next morning. Next, onto the rally. Me and Archie and Izzy all woke up dead early to be there.
It was an early morning for Elliot, Izzy and myself, as we tried to get to the service park nice and early to get one of the best spots in the service park so we could display ourselves to the best of our ability.
6:20 we were there, ready for them to open at 6:30, thinking the place was going to be heaving. We got there, first car there, another car didn't turn up for about 20 minutes. A bit disheartening when you've thought about this and gone, yep, we need to be there, but it's just one of those things.
Set up nice and quickly, had a lovely display and a great setup. Really nice and easy for Charlie and Adam to find us as well, which is always what you want. We also had an area in our setup for VIPs and sponsors to really come and eke out the benefits of rallying the right way.
For that, we had a lovely little stand which had cheese, crackers, cakes and all that and everything else. So that was pretty lovely to see, it was pretty good fun. We also had a big TV for everyone to watch the live events on.
The main idea of this was that they could see the whole team working on the car in a proper service situation, which is quite an amazing thing to see when a team's all in sync and sorting out all sorts of problems that we have to face and overcome.
People would be there eating their snacks while they also watch our spanner on the car and get stuff done. So that was going to be a big highlight, pulling a decent sized crowd, it would have been really nice. Unfortunately, that wasn't meant to be. After the first stage, we got a text from Adam saying that stage 1 was cancelled due to someone having a slight off in the mini class. So that meant that they drove slowly through that stage 1 and went to stage 2. In stage 2, it did not get better for us. We went into the stage hoping that the tyre inserts would hold. Charlie and Adam hit the first couple of corners and they said they felt it loosen up. They felt the back end was swinging about all over the place, and they knew the inevitable was going to happen. After that, you know, you either retire then or there, or you carry on. No point in stopping.
Thankfully, they both being the good old rally driver and rally co-driver that they are, they pushed on as best as they could to try and fight their way through to see if they could make it back to service for us to sort out. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. They found themselves stranded on the corner of stage 2, not being able to go any further.
They sent on, and that's left us in this state.
Our fix on the rear left didn't hold as much as the original steel in the rear beam does.
So unfortunately, due to that, we didn't make the end of that stage, which meant we had to retire from the rally, which meant that we didn't get to show off our skills with the freshers that we were excited to show that they'd only been here for 2 weeks, and yet they were here showing that they were competent, showing that they were enthusiastic, showing how great they were.
So that was a rather disappointing end to the rally. However, we still managed to entertain our guests and network as best as we could with all of the people in the service park.
There you go.
I guess you could say October hasn't been the best month for us. Whilst it's been a great learning experience for the first years and we've overcome many issues, we're looking forward to getting into the winter rebuild and putting in methods and systems so we can avoid these problems in the future. And I know we've got the team to do that. So hopefully you'll see us in the next video bashing out solutions, because that's what we like to do at Rallying the Right Way. Absolutely loved it, yeah.
Well, that's strange. Whatever it says on the whiteboard.